It's time to cook with Susan Beck, and today we're going to make some rhubarb cream cheese bars. 2 weeks ago, I posted some rhubarb muffins as a video that I made. This spring, I have been looking for some different things to try with rhubarb, and so this is my second great find recipe. And I guess I love cheesecake, and this reminds me a bit of cheesecake. So we're gonna start off by preheating our oven to 350 degrees, which I just did. I also just sprayed my pan. 9 by 13 pan worked just fine. This is an 11 by 7, so my bars will be just a little bit thicker, but that's okay. All right, next thing to prep is the rhubarb. I've already cut the ends and the leaves off, and I'm gonna dice this up. I only need 2 cups. Oh, by the way, I've washed it too. I probably have more than 2 cups worth here, and boy, are these stalks really thick. So I'm going to put them flat side down and just run my knife through them horizontally here first and then start cutting. Oh wow, 2 cups. I probably only need half of what I brought in. They're such big pieces, it's amazing how much rhubarb I'm gonna get out of 3 stalks. Now, any rhubarb you don't use, you could freeze. And I do not blanch it or cook it or do anything to it to freeze it. I do have a sealer where I can get all the air out, which is really, really nice. But put it in a Ziploc bag and get as much air out as you can and toss it into the freezer. All right, that's probably about 1 cup. This one here again, cut it across. First, it's just easier to get some smaller diced pieces. Now we've got some of the prep work done with the rhubarb cut. The oven on the pan is greased. We're gonna take 3/4 cup of white sugar and mix that with 1/2 cup of melted butter. And then we're going to whisk that together. Now you could do this in a mixer if you wanted to, but I don't think we really need to. You just want to get that well mixed up and get it kind of fluffy. And then we'll be ready to add our other ingredients to our sugar. Next, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, followed by 2 eggs. I've already broke those. There's 1. Let's beat that one in well. And the second one. We're going to sift our flour and our baking powder. Anytime I use baking powder, I really do like to sift. I think it just helps to break up any clumps and get rid of any possibility of that aluminum taste that you might get. And as long as I'm sifting the baking powder, I might as well sift my flour as well. Now I want 1 teaspoon, but I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon here, since my 1 teaspoon is already wet from the vanilla. All right, so we're gonna sift those ingredients together. Like I said, that aluminum can give you just kind of a bitter taste if you get a little ball of it that's not well broken up. And this little sifter with the mesh on the bottom just takes care of that so nicely. All right, so those dry ingredients go into our wet ingredients. We'll just keep whisking until we get that all mixed together. Whoops. Little flour flying. All right, and now we have a nice batter made. Time to make the cream cheese filling. I've had this sitting out for maybe half an hour, this cream cheese. If it's softened, it is just so much easier to whip together. I'm gonna start by just beating the cream cheese. All right, I've got that fairly well beat up, and I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup sugar. We'll mix until that's incorporated. Now it's time to layer everything together. We're going to put 1/2 the batter in the bottom of our baking dish. Sometimes I go a little heavier on the bottom, maybe a little more than 1/2, and then the rest on the top. In just a minute. Spread that around so that there's some covering all parts of the pan. Onto there will go our cream cheese. Okay, That's looking pretty good. And then just dollop this around. Kind of works well to just put a few spoonfuls everywhere and spread that around. So the bottom reminds me of sugar cookies. The middle layer reminds me of cheesecake. Okay? And again, I'm using an 11 by 7 pan, just a little smaller than a 9 by 13, but either one would work. Or cut the recipe in half and use an 8 by 8 pan or a 9 by 9 pan. Next thing on, a few strings here with our rhubarb, which really won't hurt anything, but pull those off. We've got our 2 cups of rhubarb going in, and then on top of the rhubarb goes the last of the batter. Spread that around a little bit. In my opinion, it's really okay if this doesn't cover all of it, because I think it's kind of pretty when some of the rhubarb and that red color peeks out. All right, just try to spread it around a little bit. I know I definitely have more than half on the bottom, but that is okay. You definitely want the bottom of the pan covered, and I guess that's why I always go a little heavier on the bottom and less on the top. Here are our cream cheese rhubarb bars, and they are going to go into the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, and we'll let them cool completely before we taste. Look at these delicious looking bars with that cream cheese layer of filling. So I let the bars sit for about 30 minutes. Pan's still slightly warm, but you want them to set up a little bit before you cut them. So let them cool and then cut. I'm gonna store these in the refrigerator with that fruit and cream cheese in there. But I think it's time to give it a taste. It's a perfect mixture of tart and sweetness. I've seen some recipes where they toss the rhubarb in some flour and sugar, and you could do that. And you know, when I first saw this recipe, I kind of wondered, is that rhubarb gonna be too tart? But it's really not, because we've got that sugar in the cream cheese. We've got that cookie layer on the top and bottom with sugar, and I think it's just perfect. And what a great new recipe to try. Check out this recipe, check out my rhubarb muffins, my rhubarb pie, and all my other great recipes at Time to Cook with Susan Beck.